Wakey out there, wakey, guys. Y'all know who it is. You know the count. It's Rhodium Live, Rhodium Live, Rhodium Live. And yes, we're on the scene of this right now. We had someone calling in, I think it's from North Carolina. She says she is sick and tired of the way the school administration has been treating not just herself, also her son. This thing started off, guys, with miscommunication and blaming her child, her honor roll student, her good child, for doing something he had absolutely nothing to do with. Just because he went to the restroom, they allege he was the one that did what happened in the school restroom, but yet a young white gentleman walked out before this young black man walked in, and they snatched up the young black man and did some awful things to him at that school. I'm Rodeo Live, and it saddened me that we had to meet Mrs. Yolanda under these conditions. How you doing today?
Hey, I'm good. How are you?
I am doing great. It's good to meet you, and I'm glad we waited until you did get in contact with the school. Can you
Yes,
tell us who
ma'am.
you are, and can you give us your name and where you're from?
Yes, ma'am. My name is Yolanda Graham, and I am from Fayetteville, North Carolina.
Wow. What happened in Fayetteville, North Carolina to get you to get in contact with Rodeo Live in Norfolk, Virginia?
So what happened was my son was searched. He was accused of vaping and basically searched and violated for vaping at the school.
Can you
I
tell us what school do your son attend?
Yes, my son goes to Cape Fear High School off of Clinton Road in Fayetteville.
How did your son get searched and accused of vaping? Can you back us up a little bit and explain this to us?
So my son was walking in the restroom. There was another gentleman walking out of the restroom. The deputy at the school walked in a couple of seconds after my son. My son proceeded to use the bathroom, got ready to go out. The deputy asked him to stop, and he was looking surprised, like, why? And he was like, "You're vaping in the bathroom." And my son said, "No, sir, I'm not vaping in the bathroom." And he was like, "Well, don't you see all the smoke?" And my son said, "No, I didn't really pay attention to the smoke. I'm just using the bathroom trying to get back to class." So the officer then proceeded to say, "Okay, come with me. Let's go to the office." Took him
Wow.
to the office. My son said the assistant principal was sitting behind the desk. He leaned over and told the assistant principal, "I caught him vaping in the bathroom." The assistant principal said, "Let him have a seat. I'll get him searched shortly."
S-
He,
So the security officer actually fabricated a lie and said he caught your son vaping.
yes, ma'am. He caught him vaping in the bathroom, which was why he was the assistant principal searched him because he told him that he saw him caught him vaping in the bathroom.
Let me
So
ask you this. Did your son say he was vaping in that restaurant?
no, ma'am, my son was not vaping in the restroom. He
Wow.
was not vaping in the restroom. As a matter of fact, the officer went in 5 seconds behind him. Had he been vaping, you would have saw him because you were in the bathroom the entire time that he was in there. I saw the video footage today. He literally walked in a couple of seconds after my son.
Wow.
There was no way that my son had time to vape without the officer actually seeing him. No way possible at all.
Let me ask you this. With the security officer making those false allegations on your son, what happened to your son after the allegations was made?
After the allegations were made, he sat in the office for about 15 minutes. He was then taken to the assistant principal office, Mr. Reginald Fields, and the assistant principal told him, "The officer caught you smoking, vaping in the bathroom. So it's my job as an administrative staff to search you." My son said he didn't resist. He knew he hadn't done anything wrong. The assistant principal then proceeded to search him. Without another staff member present, he searched him, made him lift up his shirt, felt all in between his legs, made him take off his shoes, felt up under his socks, searched him as if he was in jail getting a search, but with his clothes on, for the most
Let,
part.
let me ask you this. When you say he felt in between his legs, that's basically where his private parts is.
Right, brisking him, yes, like patting him down, yes, ma'am.
When he did that, was it any other administrator in present at that time?
No, ma'am, there were not. There was not. There was a child that was in the office. My son did say some another teacher came in, but at that point, he was pretty much finished searching my son. So
Did
not
your
only did, I'm
I'm sorry,
sorry.
did your son say he used this part of his hand? Did he use this part of his hand when going by his private parts?
I didn't ask that specifically. I know my son said he felt disgusting and he felt violated
Wow.
after he was searched. He said, "Mama, he called me just crying," and I was like, "What is going on?" And he told me. So I immediately got dressed and went to the school to speak with the principal and the officer because they told my son they were gonna call me and let me know what was going on. Nobody never called me and said anything to me. So I put my clothes on and went to the school myself.
Let me ask you this. Once you found out your son was violated, he was searched, he was accused of doing something he had nothing to do with. And let's make sure we make this clear. Nobody never found anything on your son far as vaping.
No, ma'am. My son was searched and nothing was found on my child. Nothing at all.
He told them that he was upset. He told them his mother will be upset once they found out, once you found out they violated his privacy. The school ensured your son they was gonna get in contact with you. Did the school get in contact with you or not?
No, ma'am, they did not. And it took me about an hour and 45 minutes to get dressed just because I didn't want to go up there looking crazy. I was in bed because I worked the night before. Dressed by I got dressed and went there. Nobody had called me to tell me anything about my son and what happened with him.
What condition, what mental condition was your son in once you saw your child? What mental condition were your child in once you saw him?
I'm sorry, did I lose you?
You good now? What mental condition was your child in? Can you hear me? Okay. Somebody somebody
Hello?
text. Can you hear me? Somebody called their phone and
Hello?
I don't see why she can't hear me. Into her phone. Can you hear me now? Can you hear me? I'm gonna send you out. Okay, guys. Hopefully she come back in. Somebody rung her phone, which made her disconnect from the microphone. I hope she come back in. Let's see, can we re-invite her back into the broadcast? Give us 1 second, guys. Hello. How you doing? Can you come? A call came in. Yeah, that must have kicked me off. Yeah, a call came in to kick you out, but we still here waiting for you. Can you use that same code and come back in? Yes, ma'am. Okay. Okay. Guys, stand down for 1 second. She's trying to come back in, guys. With a technical difficulty. It's more to this story, guys. She's gonna explain to us how she was treated at the school once the school violated her child and she found out about it. How they totally disrespected her. I'm running on live, guys, and we're standing down to see if she can come back in. All right, guys, we're still standing down, and we also have someone else from her family that's really upset that also want to come in into this live broadcast because the treatment of the child that was innocent and how he was violated and also disrespected. They want to address this issue and let the school board in Fayetteville, North Carolina know that their behavior would not be tolerated, not now and not never. I'm gonna see, can I invite you in too? Mm.
Okay.
Okay, you're back. We got your cousin. She's on the line, or your niece. She want me to invite her in too. Let me see, can I invite her in as well?
Okay.
Stand 1 second. Uh, 901 901 2828. Three. Wait a minute. I'm coming, guys. 23. Shoot, I should. Okay, I sent your cousin Nicole as well, so she should be
Okay.
trying to come in a minute. If your cousin
Okay.
is listening, all you got to do is hit that link, add your name, and I can bring you into the studio as well. When you got to the school, how was you treated as the parent?
When I got to the school, I asked to speak to the administrative staff and the deputy that were involved in what happened with my son. They took me to Mr. Field's office, which was the assistant principal. I sat down in the chair and I was like, he said, "How can I help you?" I said, "Well, I want to know." I said, "You searched my son earlier." He was like, "Yeah." Okay. And I said, "Well, I want to know why you searched him." So
Right,
he started out saying the officer thought. Now this is what he said to me. The officer thought that he saw him in the bathroom vaping. I said, "Wait a minute. Thought? Yes, the officer thought he saw him in the bathroom vaping." I said,
wow,
"So you searched my son based off of an assumption from the officer." Like I said, ma'am, he thought. I said, "But he didn't see him smoke. He didn't see him vaping." "Well, you're not going to sit here and interrogate me. If you have any further questions, you can go talk to the officer. You're not going to sit in my office and interrogate me." And I said, "Excuse me? I am not interrogating you. I'm just trying to find out why you put your hands on my child to search him. You had no right to search my child, and you
right,
didn't find anything on him when you searched him."
right,
So I said to him, "I want to speak to the officer. Bring the officer in here." "No, you can get out of my office and you can go speak to the officer yourself. You can go to his office." And I said, "Excuse me? You can go to his office?" I said, "Sir, I don't know where his office is. Can you take me to his office?" "I sure can't." He got up
wow,
and he walked out. And we got loud with each other. Like we got loud with each other. And I told him, again, you had no business touching my son. So I don't know if someone had called the officer at this time because we were getting loud, but the officer proceeded to come in the office, and basically Mr. Fields was like, "Yeah, there she is. Get her out of here," like shooing. "Get her out of
wow,
here. Get her out of here. Up in here talking to me like that, talking to me like that, and being all out." And I said, "Who are you?" I said, "You're
right,
not. You don't own this school. You're the assistant principal, and you have a boss too." So the officer basically was just like, "Well, ma'am, just just calm down, and come with me." So then I left out of the office and went to talk to the deputy who brought my son to the office. I went to his office.
wow. Wow. The cousin just came in. We lost her. Come back in one more time, cousin. Cousin, you come back in one more time. So you there trying to figure out what happened. You might be a little upset because you know your son is upset. So you want
Right.
answers, and now they're turning around and making you another one of their victims. Now, what is
Yes,
the
ma'am.
principal name, the vice principal name of that school?
His name is Reginald Fields.
Wow. Can you take the
Hmm.
time out right now and talk to Mr. Reginald Fields where he's not here, actually bullying respecting you for taking up for your son. Can you tell him how he made you feel on that day when he's supposed to be there to support you and your child?
As a mother, as a concerned mother, he made me feel like I was nobody and that I didn't even deserve to get an answer as to why my son was searched. And he didn't care enough to tell me why. And then he also told me if I didn't like the treatment that my son was getting, I could take him out and take him to another school.
Wow. Is this one of
If
your
I
family
didn't,
members right here?
yes, that is my god sister. Yes, ma'am. And so I was on the phone with her the entire time. I had her in my Bluetooth while I was talking to the principal. She was on my Bluetooth the entire time. So
Wow.
she heard everything.
Can you tell me what you heard, God, sister?
Hey Rhoda, hey everybody.
Hey.
That particular day, my sister had called me and told me what happened. And the first thing I said to her, I said, "Well, they didn't have probable cause, so why are they searching him?" And
Right.
so she got dressed, but she said, "I'm gonna let you be on the phone with me because I want to make sure I have a witness. Just so they can't say that I acted a certain way. I'm gonna be as professional as possible,
Right.
given the situation." And when she got there, she went to the office and the office staff was very cordial. And then Mr. Fields, which is the assistant principal, came out and all my sister asked was, "I just want to know why you searched my son. You did not have probable cause." And he had the audacity to say, "I'm not going to allow you to interrogate me.
Can you do
If
me
you
one
have any
favor?
issues with how I do things,
Can you
you
do
can
me
take
one
your child
favor?
elsewhere."
Can you do me one favor? Can you turn around because the sun is blind? Can you turn around the sun blinding us and stand still?
Hold on.
I'm going live with Rhoda, y'all. Look. How you
Is this a little
doing?
bit
We
better?
live right now.
Is this a
Yeah,
little
that's
bit better?
much better. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And so Mr. Fields said to my sister, um, "If you have an issue with how I do things, you can take your child elsewhere."
Wow. How
And
did that
I'm
make you
just like, it didn't even
feel?
have to be that. All she was asking is, "Why did you search my child? What was your probable cause?" And then
Right.
it was just a whole lot of throwing under the bus of each other because when she got a chance to talk to the deputy, he was throwing the Mr. Fields under the bus, and Mr. Fields was throwing the deputy under the bus. So it's like, what really happened? You basically searched him for no reason. And let's be completely honest, you searched him because he was black, because the Caucasian student came out the bathroom and he didn't get searched at all.
Wow. How did it make
And
you
yes,
feel
Mr.
as an
Fields is
auntie?
black, but let's face it, all skin folk ain't kinfolk.
You're right about that. You can say that again. How did it make you feel as an auntie knowing that your nephew was violated and then your sister was disrespected at that school?
I'm very angry, and it makes it worse because I live in Virginia. And it's just like I felt like I couldn't do but so much, but I hated to hear my nephew was hurt.
Right.
He was hurt.
Right.
And then I have gotten so many emails and so many different things, messages from different individuals who have experienced the same type of racism at that school, but they're afraid to speak up.
What's the name of that school?
Cape Fear High School in Fayetteville, North Carolina.
What would you like to say to them right now? Because you know that most
I would
likely.
like to say to Cape Fear High School, it is extremely disheartening that you all treat your brown and black students with such recklessness. It doesn't make any sense to me. Kojo, my nephew, is a smart, bright individual. He wants
Mhm.
to be a nurse practitioner. He goes to school, he does his work, and he's good. His teachers vouch for him. They were even upset. And for you to search him because you claim you saw smoke in the air, I just can't buy that. I can't buy that. And I'm not buying the school board not doing things fast enough. I'm not buying that because it's just very sad to me that in 2021, our kids have to go to school and worry about being mistreated because of the color of their skin.
Mhm.
Wow, racially profiled.
Yes,
Mother, what
ma'am.
is it that you would like to say to the school system?
I think that Mr. Fields, as well as the officer that took my son to the office, need to be fired. They both should be fired. I don't think the way that he reacted to me as a parent, if he's acting that way to me, I can only imagine the way that he's treating these children. I've had several people inbox myself as well as my sister talking about him searching their kids for no reason. I don't understand why these other parents are not speaking up for their kids, but I'm going to speak up for mine. I will advocate for my son until the day I die. What they did was wrong, and he had no business searching him, period.
I
No
want to
cause
ask
to search
this.
him.
I want to ask you this question. I want to keep it as professional as I can. And this is just a question. I'm not making no statement or anything. Do you think he have a fetish with searching little boys?
I do not know. I think he definitely maybe targets African American boys, even though he's African American. I don't see why he would search him without another faculty member present. I don't understand that.
What are you looking for from this situation by bringing it on national television, which I am national?
I would like for justice to be served. Again, as I said, I think Mr. Fields should be fired. This is not his first time. The school board is very aware. I know for a fact other parents have went to the school board because I just talked to my cousin who also went. They need to get rid of him. He does not deserve to be around children. And if Deputy Clark is prejudiced, he definitely does not need to be around children and be in that position that he is in. Because I feel like my son was racially profiled, and the only reason why he was taken to the office because he's African American.
Wow. Wow. What would you like to say to the security officer that falsely accused your child of
He
vaping when he clearly found out he
You
was lying?
caused my son so much damage. My son does not even want to go to school. He has missed a couple of days of school since this incident. And I told his principal that he does not want to go there. And I let him know as a mother, I feel like I can't do anything to help him because I can't
Wow.
take him to another school because I work. So I can't provide transportation for him. He absolutely does not want to go back to this school anymore.
Do you feel that he's gonna have any black backlash from this video for you speaking out for the safety of your son? Do you think they're gonna now gonna target him?
I, I'm not sure, but I would only hope that they do not. I would only hope that they wouldn't. The principal seemed like, he was decent, but it was also like he was just washing his hands of it. Like, oh, I can't tell you what happened, but he got reprimanded. And I said to him, he needs to be fired. The officer, I walked right past him today walking out. He couldn't even look me in my face. He could not even look me in my face.
Have anybody to this day yet apologized to your son for
No, ma'am.
falsely accusing him?
No, ma'am. I asked the principal today. Well, did Mr. Fields think that he was wrong? What he told me was Mr. Fields had a different perspective of how things happen. But he got statements from everybody in the office, and what their statements said matched up with what I said. But Mr. Fields basically does not feel like he did anything wrong. This is what the principal told me.
Wow.
He has a different
Wow.
perspective on it. Those are the words that he used. And I told him I would like
Wow.
for him to apologize to myself and my son. I really would like for us all to meet. Me, the deputy, the assistant principal, the lady over the assistant principal, as well as my husband, because now my husband is like, no, we need to meet with everybody. We need.
Yes.
The officer was like, I didn't think they were going to search him, and I said, well, what did you think was going to happen?
Right.
You
If you
you
lied
you
on him.
took him to the right. You took him to the office because you lied and said you saw him vaping.
Let me give them this right here, guys. If you want the school system to stop mistreating our kids, guys, and we want the school to be held accountable for mistreating this young man that's a good student, got great grades, and they wrongfully accused him of doing something, calls 901 483 0191. One more time, 'cause they must know that we know what they did and they need to right they wrong. It's gonna be 901 483 0191, and that would be the school that her son attend, and let them know that we seen on Facebook. Tell them where it's aired at, and that thousands of us are watching how this situation is going to end there in Fairfield, North Carolina. I am the infamous Miss Rhoda Young Live, where each and every last one of you guys' story matters to me. I got my platform back up and running. If you have a story out there that you need help with, please get in contact with me at 757-527-9043. That's 757-527-9043. 9043. There's no story too far from me that we cannot get to. One more thing before we go. What is the last thing you'd like to say to your son? Say something to your son because you're fighting for him really hard.
Son, I love you. I'm sorry for what happened to you, and I promise you, I will not stop fighting until I feel like justice is served. I promise you, I will not. You will never have to feel that again. Never ever. Never. And the area code for the school, Miss Rhoda, is 910. I think you said, I'm not sure what you said. It's 910. Area code 910 is the area
Okay, make
code.
sure we got it right. Okay. Area code one more time, guys, is 910 four
Yes.
eight three 0191. One more time, guys. We must come together as a community and let these people in authority, whether white, brown, purple, green, know that they're not going to unjustifiably accuse our kids of doing things and they're going to right their wrong. They're going to apologize to this young man. They're not going to ruin our kids, not our good kids. It's so hard to
Mhm.
have good kids. You're not
Yes.
going to ruin our good kids. 910 483 0191. KCAPE Fear, FEAR High School. Cape Fear High School. And maybe they need to change their name. That sounds awful as a name for a high school. I'm Rodeo Live, where you do it, see it here first. Until next time, guys. I'll be back on air, guys, in like 15 minutes with Bounty Fuel Utopia. I love you, and please keep us updated with what's really going on and how this thing work out. And good luck to you.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. I love
Have
you.
a blessed day. Bye
You
bye.
too. Bye bye.